beep, beep, beep. Morning. Welcome back to the court of the Edijester. I hope you are all well. There's extraordinary going on, and I feel a great disturbance in the farce as we see the fallout continue from the clarification given by the Supreme Court that male means male and female means female, and it refers to sex along with man and woman. This has sent our gusset-fumbling nutjobs into a frenzy. And now we're seeing that organisations who are responding to this are actually in the same boat. They're just nuts as well. So the unions have started, which is extraordinary. The teachers' union, the biggest teaching union in the country, which is the NASAUWT, the teachers' union, has come out and said, yes, this is unacceptable. We're going to be looking at this closely. We may take legal action. So in other words, a teaching union is backing one of the greatest safeguarding risks that we've ever seen in this country, which is the capitulation to cross-dressing men and psychologically unwell women. The fiasco and the debacle about this, I kissed a boy thing is just getting bigger as we speak. I mean, they've now got clips from the program going on, and it's absolutely surreal. It's absolutely surreal in that they're treating this girl who is quite frankly predatory. You should hear some of what she says on the program, for example. So I can top gay men. I can top. She thinks she's a bloke. She thinks that gay men are something that she can toy with, and there's no doubt in my mind that is what is going on. It's an astonishing thing. Somebody said it's time to start complaining to Ofcom. You may well be right. I'm not convinced as Ofcom seem to be as captured as Ofsted. But it's interesting because somebody sent me this. You see it on the screen there now, which is the teachers' union. And it's a policy guidance document. In other words, how they expect their union members to act. And it's called the Policy Guidance on the Use of Pronouns. Oh, God help us. Where would we be without the policy guidance on the use of pronouns? Let's see what it says. Pronouns are words we use in everyday language to refer to ourselves or others. Are they? Gosh. Where have you been all my life? Where have you been all my life to tell me that? Thank you so much, Nazut, the teachers' union. Well, they can be an important way to express your gender identity. Here we go. So they've started with, this is what they are, and they are used to express your gender identity. Not that they are used to identify somebody correctly by sex, she, he, but they are a good way to express your gender identity. So automatically, the teachers' union, representing most teachers, is totally steeped in the cult. There we go. Doesn't bode well, does it? So, gender identity, I, me, she, her, or he, him, and they, them are some examples of pronouns. It can be good equality practice to ask for pronouns, and this stops any potential embarrassment. The embarrassment is you. I mean, you've only done one sentence and you're an embarrassment. It can be good equality practice to ask for pronouns, and this stops any potential embarrassment. People determine their own pronouns. No, they don't. See, you should never assume, and you should always use their preferred pronouns. Examples are she, her, he, him, they, them. I think that people in this union are very forgetful. They've had to remind them of the fact that she, her, he, him, and they, them are pronouns twice in the first two paragraphs. Now, although you may feel it personally unnecessary to do so, and it may even make you feel a little uncomfortable at first, sharing your pronouns helps raise awareness and acceptance of different gender identities, including non-binary identities. At the very least, it creates an open and inclusive environment. For the love of God. It doesn't do that at all. It does exactly the opposite. As with anything new, practice makes perfect. It will take time for this to become a habitual part of your communications. In other words, we are going to direct how you speak. Right? We're going to direct how you speak. This is political correctness, by the way. Okay? So all the fluffy language is actually political correctness. You know where that originated, don't you? Communist Russia. That's where it originated. Some people will add their preferred pronouns to their email signature with some twats, or to their Zoom account. Yeah, I've had that where somebody's turned up and they've got pronouns in the Zoom account. I just go, pronoun person. Again, this is good practice. No, it's not. It's a terrible practice. It's an awful practice that leads to policy guidance, which is essentially forced speech. Oh, God, that was you. That was you, wasn't it? The teachers' union. Nazut, the teachers' union. It was you. It's insane. So, Where are we? Again, this is good practice as it allows others to prepare themselves to address someone in their preferred manner. You now have to prepare yourself to use a pronoun. Have you been preparing yourself? Oh, all morning. Right. So do you feel you're ready? That you've prepared yourself enough to use a preferred pronoun? Yes. Can I get you a coffee? They, them have just asked. I'm fine. That's great. It's good to see. Good to see. Yeah. Absolutely insane. Beyond the pale insane. What? I sit here in silence sometimes, just thinking, how have we got so deep into this madness? Right? It says here that you shouldn't force people to do it. It actually says that to their credit, right? It is standard practice on training courses for members to be invited to do this, but it's important to state that this is a personal choice. No one should be forced to do so. Except you should be forced to do so. That's the problem with this policy. Indicating your own pronouns is ultimately a personal choice. In other words, you don't have to indicate yours, but you will speak the way that we want to. And because you haven't indicated yours, we will take from that there's something wrong with you because you're not recognizing people's gender identities. That's what this is. That's what it is. Oh. So indicating your own pronouns is ultimately a personal choice. However, if someone has indicated their pronouns to you, make sure you use them correctly. That's my response, by the way. Is up yours, you bunch of lunatic leftists. As previously stated, pronouns are words we use in everyday language to refer to ourselves or others. They have been used as a singular pronoun since 1375. We use a singular they, them, or their often. For example, if you find a jacket that was left behind in the room, you may ask, did someone leave their jacket here? Unless, of course, you're from Swansea, in which case you'd say, whose coat is that jacket? It's just surreal. So at the top, on the fourth paragraph, it says, as with anything new, practice makes perfect. At the bottom, it says, they has been used as a singular pronoun since 1375. Well, it's been around that long. It shouldn't be hard for us to do it, should it? But it hasn't, of course. Things change over time. Some trans and gender non-conforming people may use they, them, and theirs as personal pronouns. This is considered a gender-neutral pronoun, compared to pronouns like he, him, or she, her, which are generally perceived as gendered terms. For example, Sarah works in our pastoral team. They delivered an informative presentation today about their most recent project. It's just, see? Mad. Some people may wish to use more than one set of pronouns to refer to themselves. For example, a gender non-conforming person may feel equally comfortable with they, them, he, him, or she, her pronouns. Other trans and gender non-conforming people may not be out. Therefore, they may use different pronouns so they are comfortable in different situations. Could a trans person who's one of these great big lumpen bloke who's not out, what pronouns do you prefer? I prefer he, him, but I'm secretly a she, her. Are you? Right, okay. What do they mean out? What do they mean by out there? It's really strange, and that shows you how they lie things over the idea of being gay. Trans and gender non-conforming may not be out. What are they doing? Secretly gender non-conforming at home? Or are they just practicing their fetish? Which is it? You decide. Answers on a postcard. Do postcards still exist? I'm sure they must. If someone uses more than one set of pronouns, you can ask them what they would prefer to use. They may prefer to use all of them interchangeably or keep to one set. Remember, this can be contextual, for example, because someone may use different pronouns at work or at home. This is insane. This is actual guidance from a union. Actual guidance from a union, and they are utterly bloody deranged, right? I'll leave you to read the rest of it. There isn't much more. Yeah, I'll leave you to read the rest of it, because I'll put the link in the Dubris, just for the fun of it. I mean, you have to do something on your own, don't you? Other than that, I'll say goodbye, because this is just enough to finish any reasonable person. The National whatever they're called. Teaching tossers. If there's a bloke in a dress in the classroom, then you have to ask yourself the question, why is he wearing a dress in the classroom? Right? If you've got a psychologically unwell woman that's planning to have her tits whipped off and her fanny fooled around with, then neither of those people should be teaching in any format whatsoever. Because the first thing you see is safeguarding. That's it. It's that simple. You're talking about children here. I'll see you later. Get the gusset fumblers out of the classroom. Ta-ra!